I have a reason today to think on the subject on motivation theory. My reason for this subject is to provide you with cause and effect. Motivation is an instance of motivating where the state of mind is conditioned of being motivated. Something that motivates us by inducement or incentive, we become ambitious and inspired by the subject. There are two types of motivation that allows us to be motivated, for example, physical and philosophy. Most of us use the physical evidence more than the philosophy evidence to motivate us. Because the physical evidence is something we can use our senses to identify the subject in matter where, as in philosophy it is based on purely speculation, I believe that we need both physical and philosophy evidence to provide facts to a subject. Now the reason that we are inspired by physical evidence, because we use our senses that provide the evidence that is present to us using our five senses, such as sight, touch, feel, smell and taste. However, there is a sixth sense called speculation. The five senses help us to provide facts and reality to an objective. An objective is usually a thing that we can use our senses to identify it. The object motivates us to want to learn more about the thing. Motivation is developed by the fundamental of an object providing developmental facts of the object through senses. However, the mind must be stimulus in order for us to become motivated by the object. Stimulus is evidence of our brain and our it functions. Our brains are stimulus by nerves. Since our brains must be stimulated, it is usually stimulated by the physical appearance of evidence through again senses. On the other hand, for us to be fully stimulated about a motivational object, we need to examine all aspects for investigation that allows us to reach a particular object. In addition, stimulations are met by the demand of the request, meaning the requirement of the subject that meets the demands of people. In addition, there also have to be in comparison to promote the object, for instance, so that you were asked to compare a religion organization and there were several religion organizations that you had to compare for quality. Quality is the worth of the religion. The worth of the religion is important, because you are going to be investing your time and money in the organization, so you like to know, is a certain religion worth the investment that represent of active obligations to the community. First thing you know is about the statistics of the religion. The statistic of a particular religion organization tells you how well the organization is doing in areas comparing to other organizations in a geography or national statistics. Once you learn the statistic, you probably would like to know the improvement or upgrade of the organization. When we talk about physical evidence, these mentioned above give us facts about an object, but it does not give us in six senses. Next, the sixth sense is a part of philosophy. Philosophy helps us to speculate the subject. We speculate the subject by applying our own ideas to the matter. To engage in elevated thought and reflection through meditation. In addition, we indulge in conjectural thought that allow us to become rational thinkers through rational transformation. When we have achieved our goal of rational transformation, we profit from the stimulates. The stimulates are physical and philosophy evidence. Once the philosophy is inspired, we engage ourselves to encouragement through the evidences. Then we are engaged in a coherent group of general propositions used as principles of explanation for a class of phenomena that further of investigation to the subject, like Einstein's theory of relativity. In our dependence of a mental state and having a process upon the nature of the human mind, it is relativity of values and relativity of knowledge, we shall have concerns with. Summing up the motivation theory, I learned the cause and effect of motivation when using it in both an objective and subjective. In the objective, the object becomes the physical evidence, and in subjective the philosophy becomes the subjective. The senses help us to determine the evidence for the physical and the six senses, meaning speculation in this theory provides with term philosophy. Both physical and philosophy evidence must be present to draw evidence for both an object and subject for rational evidences. In addition, relativity of values are used mostly in the comparison approach that I mention in the subject.